Founded in 2021, Root to Heaven is a charitable organization inspired by the way indigenous people live in harmony with the earth. At Root to Heaven, we have 3 key initiatives: reforestation, regeneration, and rewilding. We reforest by replacing trees in deforested areas, and by reintroducing indigenous plants, we help rehabilitate native ecosystems. Soil is life. Regeneration rebuilds soil organic matter and restores degraded soil biodiversity, resulting in both carbon drawdown and improving the water cycle. Animals will naturally rewild themselves into healthy environments. Wildlife and plant life work in harmony with each other to steward ecosystems that are resilient and full of life. At Root to Heaven, we focus on our relationship with Mother Earth because we acknowledge that all of life comes from and is supported by the Earth. The Earth gives us everything we see and everything we need, from the air we breathe and the water we drink, to the food we eat, to the places we live and our transportation, and the clothing we wear and everything we use in order to live. Even our bodies are made of earth, and our mission is to help reestablish the awareness and connection that we all have to the earth, to innate wisdom, integrity, and knowledge of how to read the book of nature. We understand that as we become more integrated into nature, the connections in our lives are also strengthened. We find a sense of belonging in nature, within ourselves, and to each other. Direct exposure to nature is essential for early childhood development, as well as the overall health of children and adults. According to the Child Mind Institute, unstructured play promotes creativity and imagination. Caring for living things teaches us responsibility, and outdoor time is a form of exercise that helps children and adults to focus. Families who regularly get outside together tend to function better. The studies point in one direction. Nature is not only nice to have, but it's a have-to-have for physical health and cognitive function. Connecting with the earth slows our heart rate. It can lower our blood pressure and stress hormone levels, reduce nervous system arousal, enhance immune system function, and improve mood. Attention deficit disorder and aggression lessen in natural environments, which also help speed the rate of healing. In a recent study, a psychiatric unit found that being in nature reduced feelings of isolation, promoted calm, and lifted the mood of patients. Gardening, farming, and rebuilding ecosystems has also shown an increased success rate for people overcoming addiction. Exposure to nature translates into more community cohesion and substantially lower crime rates. Vegetation abundance is associated with a reduction in assault, robbery, and burglary. In our first year, and in partnership with Flowering Sun Ecology Center, Heart and Mind Festival, and MICE, Root to Heaven planted almost 16,000 trees in 5 locations on 2 continents. In 2022, we plan to plant 100,000 all over the U.S., working side by side with people just like you, and in communities and cities just like yours. With educational programming and workshops for all ages, planting ceremonies, and expert-led trainings. In 2022, we'll launch Family Tree, bringing individuals, families, communities, and organizations together to create large-scale urban and rural reforestation projects. Family Tree is designed to strengthen our connection to our environment, our community, Mother Earth, and one another. Bring Root to Heaven to your city by contacting us at roottoheaven.com. We thank you for your part in ensuring that we can all enjoy nature, that our connection to life flourishes for 7 generations to come, and that the waters of the world are free to run pure and clear.
Thank you so much for tuning in to learn about Root to Heaven. My name is Nicole Adriana Casanova, and I am one of the founders of this really, really beautiful organization. which is inspired and guided by the wisdom and the knowledge of the elders of humanity's sacred traditions. This year, we're going to be focusing on bringing Root to Heaven into your neighborhoods and into your towns and into your homes. And we are calling upon those people who are ready to engage in planting projects, whether it's smaller scale or larger scale, to add beauty and to add cohesion and connection into the textile, the vibrancy, the weave of your environment. So I would love to open the questions at this moment, and I'll just continue to talk a little bit about the project. We really see that, like ecosystems, families are similar, that the individuals actually strengthen the whole, that everything working together is what creates health and what creates abundance and what creates balance, which is why with Family Tree, we are focusing on the family aspect of it, and we're broadening our aperture and understanding of what family means, not just to include our brothers or sisters, our mothers and our fathers, but our community, nature, and animals in the earth. So opening our understanding to a larger perspective of family. So we have a question. What does Family Tree Project look like? It looks like people activating and wanting to collaborate with us with the infrastructure and programming that we've built to start to bring these opportunities into your homes or into your communities or your neighborhoods or cities. And we start in the spring this year, but we will be discussing who are we going to be working with this winter. So ideally, we will get a few more opportunities on top of the ones that we're currently exploring in 3 different cities in the US, or 4, so that we know where we're going to be planting in 2020. And it's a big project. Collaboration is key. It's interdependent, just like the keys in nature, just like the air and the fire and the water and the earth. They all work together to strengthen us and sustain us. So where do we start? Here. Can you speak about one of the projects you've already hosted? Well, I can speak about a project that we worked in partnership with the Heart and Mind on, which was to provide about 2,000 trees to the indigenous people of the Sierras, the Santa Marta, the Mamos, and the Sagas. And we were very grateful to have the opportunity to support them because their encampment, where they were being held during the COVID pandemic at the beginning, was being invaded by illegal mining. And in order for the illegal miners to be stopped by the government and to receive government interjunction, they needed to be able to build temples. And they couldn't build temples because the mining industry had also deforested their sacred groves. They only have 2 different types of trees that they can build these temples with. So, and those were the trees that were deforested. So we were able to work with private investment to make sure that they had all of the resources that they need, in addition to trees and saplings and seeds, also food for the 300 or 400 indigenous people that were on their native land, protecting the land from these kinds of invasions. So this is one of the projects. Thank you for asking. How can we get involved with Family Tree? You can email me, my name, Nicole, at roottoheaven.com. Can someone type that in? Nicole at roottoheaven.com. And I will answer. If you are serious, we want to talk to you because we have a really beautiful project and we have a really strong structure that's being built to be able to support it and sustain it. Can you speak more about the study showing that more green space? Yeah, there was a 2015 study done in the UK on 2,000 people. This is a controlled study, and it showed that abundance of crops, not only exposure to nature, but also the connection that people had with food, was able to help lower crime rates. because most of the time it appears that crime goes up as people face scarcity. And what the earth is constantly teaching us is that we have abundance if we remember how to be abundant. Is there anything I can do in my city now to help get the ball rolling? Anyone I should speak to in my town community? I'd say the first things first and email Root to Heaven. We also have a contact page on the Root to Heaven website that is not just for letting us know that you want to participate, but that you need help. So there's a lot of questions there for those who or opportunities for those who want to get involved somehow, whether it's asking for help or whether it's lending a hand. And I think the biggest thing is to identify some key players in how you're going to move the project together, because just like everything in nature, this kind of project is going to take a lot of collaboration. And really, the reforestation initiatives and family trees is about bringing the knowledge back into the hands of the individual and the family and the community, so that we're no longer relying on anyone else to feed us or to reforest our environments, but that we can really take responsibility over creating that relationship. And this also has a really beneficial effect, scientifically speaking, on the human mind and the psychology, because it gives us a sense of belonging. What is the best way to show Mother Earth that we are grateful for her? By being satisfied with what you have. And I think really allowing yourself to ask yourself, what do you really need? We live in a culture of consumption and a culture of what's next and more is more. But when our hearts are full, and the earth teaches us this through the connection that we make when we touch the soil, and our breathing slows and our heart slows, and we see how abundant we actually are to be alive and to be experiencing all of the beauty that we get to experience in every day. We are given presence, and in that presence, we can start to ask ourselves about our habits and about our consumption. And regenerative culture is, yes, it's about the soil, and it's about creating carbon drawdown, and it's about making decisions that are going to help to heal the waters, but it's also about giving back more than we take. And so the best thing that we can do is to be satisfied and to take really, really good care of what we do have. So I think that is all for questions. Thank you so much to everyone at Heart and Mind Festival for inviting me to speak here today and share about Root to Heaven and Family Tree. It's a project that is rooted deeply in my heart and that I look forward to offering to the world. So thank you for the support. Thank you, Maestro Manuel and Renata, to all of the different guidance that you've given me along the path with Root to Heaven. And I look forward to continuing to plant really, really good seeds. Happy heart and mind.